Okay, and this also comes to my next point. Sometimes animals are just dicks for no reason.
Yeah.
Sort of like, like when somebody says thousands of years and someone corrects them and says tens of thousands of years. They're just being a dick for no reason. And then, you know what you do is you stomp their whole family for 80 minutes and you kill one of their kids. And then you end up on a story.
Seems extreme.
On the Drudge Report
Seems
for a
extreme.
bunch of chuckleheads to talk about.
It seems extreme when you put it that way. No, I mean, he could be right. I mean, they just... Or, like, they've got a new leader, the Chimps, that is, and that leader was like, fuck these gorillas.
Right.
Like, I don't care if we've eaten figs together out of a tree.
Yeah.
You know? Screw these guys. And then they kill a baby, which is kind of rude. The second time they ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One female ate like a whole baby.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how big a baby gorilla is, but I assume it's a hearty meal.
I'm
assuming it's the equivalent of like a human eating a whole Costco rotisserie chicken.
Right. That's a chimpanzee, but man versus food.
Yeah.
It's like
like the burrito from fucking what's it called?
The blue agave, the one I failed to eat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But if they are starting a war, and if you're the chick chimp that ate a gorilla baby, I gotta tell you something. There's gonna be a crown placed atop your head real quick when you get back to town.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you're queen bitch. What'd she do? What did Jane do? She ate a fucking gorilla baby.
She ate a gorilla
Holy
baby.
shit! The whole thing in one sitting.
Now, my lone discretion with this is not. I have a few, but my number one is okay. Obviously, as a biologist and these people who are trying to make sense of this, you can only be a conscientious observer. You can't. You'd be an idiot to interject and try to like play peacemaker. Excuse me, everyone. And then you're on the menu for both parties. Okay, 80 minutes long, and you can't pull out your fucking phone. And
they got footage. They definitely got footage.
You sure?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. Then I'm waiting. Then I want to see this because I can't. That's mayhem.
Yeah.
That's like a riot that it's ensuing. You know, like storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Pale in comparison to the noises and the fucking mayhem.
Well, that's what, I think that article was very good at depicting. Was like the one scientist was like, man, we first heard like the chimps screaming, and we were like, oh, it's just some chimps running into some other chimps. And then somebody was like, oh, they heard fucking chest pounding. And it was like, only gorillas chest pound. Like, they're the only great ape that does it. And they were like, oh, shit. We should probably go see what's going on. For 80 minutes, like, haven't you seen a Discovery Channel documentary? And with Planet Earth, like, if you see the behind the scenes, them motherfuckers are ready to capture animals in, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, they got their shit set up. They just run out, start clicking shit. Good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's footage of that shit. Don't you worry.
All right.
Yeah. And somebody needs to inject David Attenborough's 90-some-year-old ass with some fucking HGH, some fucking steroids, and some good old-fashioned, like, Heisenberg methamphetamine, and get him ready for this fucking voiceover work. Because that's going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be so fucking exhilarating.
In a plexiglass cage.
Yeah.
Right up front and center.
Yeah.
You know, he's play-by-play
live.
that can't get hurt.
Could you imagine? That would be fucking amazing. I'd pay for that.
Yeah. And you know, you got to figure, I'm just thinking the psychology of a silverback. Okay, then, but you some of these males are like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're having trouble with 4 and 5 chimps. I know chimps are incredibly strong.
It's a 100-pound chimp. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems from what I read is that the chimps have the numbers and the smarts, and the silverbacks can't figure it out. They're going to have to go to the drawing board. They're going to go to the war room.
Yeah, well,
draw a couple X's and O's and fucking Lombardi this shit.
Look, I think this happens a couple more times, and fucking chimp leader accidentally gets a little too close, and fucking homeboy just fucking rips him in half. Yeah. And the chimps are like, all right, we're done with that experiment. That was fun. But yeah, they go back. They're like, yo, he ripped him in half.
Yeah, you know where his waist was?
Yeah.
It went this way, and then his face went that. His arms were waving, and his legs were waving 40 feet apart
at the same time.
40 feet apart,
And it's just squirting.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever seen that any magician fucking tear a phone book? It was like that, but with Chimp,
Same.
but with Fred. Like they just did it to Fred. He's dead now.
Remember Pete when Pete handed the magician Saul to saw a woman in half? Yeah, that's what
He
it
did it
was.
without the saw. He did it with his hands. He just did it with his hands.
Outside of the box.